Hey, welcome to Roaming Minds. I'm Carlos.
I'm AJ, and here we talk about the thoughts that kept us out of all the really good schools. You know, those quiet spirals, the questions that keep you up at night, and the trials and tribulations that we all face as human beings.
This show is part reflection, part reminder. We're not broken, we're on a journey of growth. Please note that this conversation should not be taken as medical or professional advice. See the link in the description below if you require immediate help.
Every week, we unpack what it means to choose joy. Not the loud version that Karen is peddling, but the quiet, hard-earned kind that comes from finally feeling like yourself again.
Let's keep this conversation going. Join us on Discord or connect to a peer through Kindred. Let's get into it.
We made it. We made it again. For the third time, we have officially made it to the season finale. That's crazy. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day. I don't know what about this season felt longer than the other two, but this one, not in a bad way. Not like I'm like, oh man, this season just will never end. I don't think that. It was just
It is
scheduling was
never ending.
weird. I'm sorry?
I said it's not the never ending story.
Yeah, it was more so just the fact of scheduling was off. The first two seasons were I felt like were super easy. One, we just hammered home, and every Saturday, boom, everything was done. And this season has just been, well, we can't meet this day, which is not knocking anything. It's external constraints. And so that's pushed when I do, it's just been different. It's not bad, just different. Felt longer. I was actually thinking about that yesterday or Sunday, because everyone was like, oh my God, life moves so quickly. I'm like, yeah, when you don't do shit, my life moves pretty damn fast. You know?
Actually, no, I have the opposite. When I do shit,
Right.
life goes really fast. When I don't do shit, I'm like, fuck, this shit is, come on, who's spragging that shit out there? Come on, do something, make something happen.
Yeah, no, I understand. I don't know. It's weird because I feel like the more that I do, the slower overall it goes. Not the day itself, but the years don't seem to disappear. And that's what they were referring to.
Okay.
And I feel like when you sit around and you waste 6 hours and you're like, man, I didn't do shit the past 3-4 years. And you're like, yeah, no shit. But I digress. So I guess this episode, our goal is just to kind of tie everything together and make it kind of fancy and a little bit nicer. And one of the things that we really first started off with was, what if people are not actually broken? We sit there and we go back with this idea of mental health, and we're like, oh well, that person's just they're just a little off. And I've heard it before. I'm just a broken toy. And you're like, but are you? Whatever. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It makes no difference. I will also say that it's really interesting to see how life has shifted. Even just in the past month, and it's been more than a month and a half, 2.5 months since we started? Yeah, because it was right around the new year. So, no, that would be 3 months.
Yes, 3 months. Yeah, let's go. Usually we do 2.5 months, but because of the episode layout this season, we had to go almost 3.
Dude, I hear you. It's really crazy. It's wow.
Yeah.
Everything is super interesting, super fun process. And so hopefully, there should be some level of shift in your life between then and now. Right. I mean,
I think
right. Well, I
the
know
main
for
reason
me,
I'm not really sat and done reflecting because, as you know, I've just been on, every day's just a go, 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 go experience.
mhm,
So sometimes you get through that and then you don't have the time to really sit and really think about, oh, wow, a lot has happened. A lot has been happening.
yes. The only thing, I'm not saying reflect regularly, but also just seeing a lot of that energy start to come back has been pretty cool. And that's really what has been very telling when it comes to where I'm seeing that change happen. Because 3 months ago, I couldn't even conceive of some of the opportunities that we have coming up. So that's all cool. We've talked about so much this season, and it seems like it's all crazy and unrelated, but all of it is very tied together. We talked about environments. We talked about how those environments shape our life. That was our core beginning, is understanding that the environment with which you are placed in determines a lot about what goes on.
Yeah.
Then we move to more cognitive aspects and how that influences how those are influenced
Yes.
by your environment. So things like decision load, things like how much stimulation you're getting, the constraints that we have to work with, how more recently, how stable and how to create that stability, and then what level of energy and where it is that we are putting forth that energy. And all of those things, whether we care to admit it or not, have played a direct role in shaping who we've become over the past 3 months. I know that seems like such a short period of time, but it happens so quickly. Our brain registers it. We register the shift, and then it begins to update and modify systems, and we see the results eventually. We don't see those results always immediately, short of it being a straight shock to the system. Which is cool. It's neat to see. It's neat to see the growth happen. It's really cool to see it in other people as well as yourself. So when you kind of get that privilege, it's always super wonderful to be like, oh, hey, I remember when you were an annoying little twat. Um, um, but hopefully we really understand that all of this is a part of one big system. And making small adjustments within that system determines what our life ends up looking like. I know I was talking with somebody the other day, and they were just like, well, what's the point of it all? There's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to do this. There's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to do that. And you're like, yeah, okay, fine. There's no guarantee that you can do any of this. But at least I showed up and at least I tried. I found a system that works. I implement it, and we keep going, and we keep moving forward. And it pushes a lot of things beyond. You hear this wonderful buzzwords, manifestation, visualizing, and all of this stuff. And there's an important concept in there. I don't want to get into the mystical aspects of things, right? There are psychologically sound principles that verify those things that people are talking about. Problem is most of us use it incorrectly. And we think that it's just, oh, well, this is what we choose we want, right? But it doesn't always work that way. Again, I'll just bring up your neurosurgeon example. That was something that you actively chose, correct? But the system constraints said, maybe this isn't the best idea. And that's not to say that you're a failure or that things are terrible. I wouldn't think that way, nor do I mean it that way. That was one of the things that I tried to really hammer home when I was talking with them is it is more than just what it is that you think you want. It is more than just deciding that you want it and being like, oh, well, I'm going to get it. There's a whole nother side of things and that's kind of what we have been discussing this whole entire time. What kind of system is going to allow us to navigate life with dignity, with grace, with some semblance of pride, and I understand that that can be a tricky term. I mean, being proud of a life that you are living, right? Not being proud of aspects of your character, if that makes sense. Because I feel like
Yes,
that gets tricky.
I see what you
That
mean.
gets weird. That is not what I'm talking about. God damn, that's fucked up. All right. Now that we've gotten that weird shit out of the way. Right. Only the after part. And so really what we are talking about, how to design a sustainable men no. How to design a life that is mentally healthy, that sustains across time. Okay? That's the big key. A lot of modern techniques and modern ways of being are not always aimed at sustainable over time. We say, hey, this is the problem. What on our level of what we think it is. So that doesn't mean it's guaranteed the root cause of the issue. And then we attack that problem and we just keep iteratively going over. And it's very reactive. Modern psychotherapy, modern CBT, it is very reactive. It's not a problem. That's okay. That's where it needs to be. But we need proactive steps that we can take to design our lives in such a way so that we're not constantly playing the reactive game. That doesn't mean that reaction won't still take place. And that's where CBT, psychotherapy are going to play a role even moving forward. It's not like, again, I'm not telling you that this is the only way to be. But our goal has always been to sustain across time. What this looks like, our decisions are not overwhelming us. We have fewer to make that are putting that external strain and weighing us down. Super awesome. That is based off of what we've talked about. There are ways to do that sustainably and to keep that going. Our environments play a role in supporting or hindering that behavior.
Those.
If we are constantly coming home to an incredibly toxic wasteland, everyone's just with no boundaries in place. We got no boundaries. We're just walking in there and we're like, oh, look, the circus is happening. That environment is not going to support what it is that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
That's not even like we've talked a lot about that personalization. Well, some can handle it and some can't. Bullshit, dude. No. If you are constantly within toxic environments, it's going to have an effect on you. I'm not
Tried and
saying you're
true.
not going to, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said it's tried and true. It will.
Right. It's not a matter of, oh, I can make it through. Maybe you can, but why the fuck would you want to fight that? That's a whole nother level. Our stimulation is managed effectively. So whatever that looks like for you, that can be decreased notifications, that can be decreased screen time. There can be just taking an hour a week to sit by yourself. That's okay. Anything to reduce that mental clutter is super helpful. Placing intentional constraints upon yourself and understanding that those are important. Life will present external constraints. That's not a maybe. But when you have the intentional ones already in place, it's much easier to navigate those external constraints that get placed upon us. We talked about it that just at the beginning. We've had significantly more external constraints that have had to shift production days. But at no point in time did we falter. At no point in time was I sitting there like, oh my God, it's 4:00 in the morning. The episode comes out in an hour. I gotta. That never happened. Not once. And that's because of our external constraints that we put into place to keep all of those things moving forward smoothly. And even when we got close to towing that line, we still had that way of coming back. So constraints being intentional are super important. As a result of all of this, we should be a little bit more stable.
Yep.
And then once we have that, then we get to pay attention to where it is that we are placing our energy. Is it here that I want to place that energy? Is it over here or is it over here? Excuse me. And that intentional placement of energy is incredibly important because is this a waste of my time or is this going to move us forward? And that can be mental health, that can be career-wise, that can be the intentional placement of energy bounces across all different domains of life. And when you have the system that is supporting you in that way, it gets much easier to do these things. Rather than fighting life, we are working around it, or working within it, I should say, because fighting life doesn't look good. We all know those people. We've seen them before. They just kind of sit on the outside and are constantly fighting everything, and it's just you got to work within the system in order to play the system or beat the system. So and maybe since I've been using this system, I will tell you that internal negotiation is gone. Right? I don't know about you, but I used to have I used to hear people, they was like, I have a committee inside of my head. I was like, fuck a committee, bro. I wish. It's like fucking World War IV in that bitch. You, you know what I mean? It's like, go do this, go do this. No, don't do that. No, this. Dude, it was insane. Insane. I don't have those anymore. There's no committee. There's no war. There's just, here's the goal. Here's the target. How do we get there? And that, again, that idea spreads across domains. Where do I want to be at mentally? Where do I want to be at physically? Where do I want to be at career-wise? Where do I want to be at family-wise? All of those things. I see the target and we go. If something comes up, that's okay. We look at everything. This is the best way forward based off of the constraints that we have. Let's go there. There should be less daily friction. And what I mean by that is our internal state. So there's always going to be external things. People are going to behave the way that they're going to behave. I have no control over that. I don't have any means of dictating how they're going to behave, but I do have every bit of control over my response. And so when people start acting weird, or maybe not weird, but maybe outright hostile or whatever, see ya. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna figure this out. You figure you out and then come talk to me.
Right.
There's no, and that's what I mean by friction. Life's still gonna happen. People are still gonna behave in a certain way, but it's not going to rub me the wrong way, which then will produce those negotiations, and don't need any of that. Decisions become super clear. Because if you're working towards a goal and you know how you have to get there, or Let me rephrase that. Not how to get there, but you know what you want it to be and how you want it to look like. It's super easy to make a decision because even if something happens, even if a massive roadblock comes up and you're like, whoa, shit, what the fuck do I do? There's either go around, right or left, through, straight up, on underneath. There's different ways to go around, or you can just turn around and walk the other way. But knowing where you want to get to, it's easy to make those decisions because you're like, oh, this is super stupid. I just have to run through this wall. And it's not, you're like, dude, I did that shit for years, man. That was my philosophy. It's like running at brick walls and seeing the brick walls happening or popping up. You're just like, fuck, here's another one. And we just continually ran through. My toolbox has grown significantly since then, so I don't have to be the Kool-Aid man every single time. now I can just step to the side or maybe jump a little bit. And so when we have those, which is super cool, we have more consistent energy. I can't tell you how many people I talk to that are just like, oh, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. At the end of the day, I'm tired, sure. But when I wake up at 7, 5, whatever time of the day I'm getting up, there's not that exhaustion isn't carrying with me from day to day anymore. That's a big difference. I've been literally, I told you, digging out bushes that have been there for 20 years with nothing but a shovel and a crowbar.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm not tired in the slightest. I'm going to go do some more later today. Because I still have 3 of them that have to come up. Ugh. I'm not telling you it's fun, but it's not. If it wasn't for the consistent energy, I wouldn't be able to make it happen because I'd be too tired. And then as a byproduct, you just have fewer emotional swings. It's so much easier not to swing emotionally when there's no committee or no united front constantly arguing for their own side of things. We don't need it. So it's not like I'm in mid negotiation and somebody walks up and is like, "Hey, dumbass," and you're like, "What the fuck you call me?" Oh, sorry, I'm busy. Bye. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I do, I do know exactly what you mean.
It's a big difference to just be calmer overall, to just be able to focus on what is important. And it's important to mention because everyone's like, oh, well, the answer for focus is just to get off these screens. There are days where I spend 8 hours at a computer. Guaranteed. And then some. Screen is not the problem. It's how we set up the screen and how we interact with said screen that becomes the issue.
Yeah, I mean, that's how most things we have in this world, they're not inherently the issues themselves. It's how we use them. Some things are inherently just bad, but like about a good chunk, 80%, without it's just it's something that's there, and it's just to help you survive, to help entertain you. But then it's how you really implement this or using that in your life that where the issue begins to arise from.
Right. Yeah. No, that's spot on. We're all given tools, good and bad, that can go
Good.
good or can go bad.
Yeah.
Let's rephrase that.
Yes, we have good, bad, and somewhere in the middle, and the good can obviously become bad. The bad
And the
usually
bad.
remains bad, but perspective can shift it to good based on where context
Yeah.
matters, obviously.
Anything can be used in well, we're not going to make that. Never mind. We're gonna stop semantically breaking that one down because we're gonna end up in some weird holes. So, but I
Tempt me
mean,
with a
and
good
that
time.
actually, say that again.
I said, don't tempt me with a good time.
I could go down that road for hours. I think that takes us into our next idea, though, is that this is not a perfect system. We are not offering a perfect means of viewing the world. My means of viewing the world updates pretty regularly. Maybe not daily. I feel like that's a little unstable and unsustainable, but definitely weekly, monthly. I mean, again, I'd make minor shifts. I don't know how that operates in your life, but I'd be interested in hearing. Like, I mean, what was I had a question.
Yeah. I was waiting for the question because I was like,
No, I know, and I was like, uh, oh, when it comes to updating mental models and how you handle that and how often, because what we're trying to avoid is that idea of perfect systems.
oh, I'm constantly updating and like making my model because talking about those constraints. I I am only one person, and there's about 8 billion other people in what's it called in the world itself happening around me. So I have to constantly change what's it called how my systems work. 'Cause, there's always chaos around, and it's not necessarily that when I use the word chaos, I use it in the word in terms of what the scientific word of entropy. There's always disorder. There's always something going around me, and chaos is not inherently something that's bad. It's just going to happen, and I have to learn how to navigate within that system because this I may have this one plan set. My goal doesn't shift. That's how I get to that goal. That may shift slightly each time, but almost all the time, I always achieve whatever goal it is I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, and I think you brought up an interesting idea of entropy, and we will definitely get there by the end of this little bit. But I have a few more that I want to go through. This is not going to save you from stress. I don't. Stress is good. That's not our goal. Our goal is to be able to effectively manage it so that we can keep that sustainable over time. And
Hmm.
implementing a lot of these things and working within and trying to figure out the system that works for you is going to help reduce that chronic stress that won't go away. It is definitely not complete control over your life. It is control over you. No, it's not. It, it is a means of influencing the things that influence you.
Yeah.
It's a way of exacting your influence so that it gets taken into account as well when the world ultimately influences you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. W- We're not talking about optimization either. This isn't optimizing for human existence or human mentality.
But yeah.
It's just a way to think about the world around us so that it's not so crazy, so that it reduces some of the pressure, alleviates some of the just difficulty of modern life. Modern life is fucking difficult.
Crazy.
Just because you've built this sustainable way of thinking about mental health doesn't mean that life eliminates friction. However, what it does do is it prevents unwarranted entropy. It helps because the system that is in place will help prevent some of those areas from just wasting energy. If we are making too many decisions, we're just wasting energy. And entropy is a real motherfucker when you're wasting energy. And so a couple of the things that came up, I guess, while I was talking, or what I was thinking about, was this is not something that is just going to be solved because you listened once or because you did this. Again, our mental models are constantly updating. That is a part of it. That is a piece of what makes this sustainable. It's not, oh, you just do this and then you're good. And I know that that sounds like it adds more work, but it's not. It's not a large amount of work that requires incredible amounts of energy. It requires setting things up in a way that allows you to engage without the energy that you gain back from all the energy that we were wasting before can be put into something like that. And then you still have plenty to go ahead and work with. It's not the end of the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Systems do not, any system that we work with is not, it's not a set it and forget it kind of a thing. It doesn't matter what it is. All systems need constant maintenance. It's okay. Entropy is very real in that respect. The system will degrade over time. This is normal. This is natural. If we are paying attention, if we are operating in that more sustainable manner, then we are open when those things do happen, and we can go ahead and keep implementing. We design the system around what is going on and what it is that we want, how we want to get there, what characteristics, what not characteristics, what am I thinking? What positive attributes we have, and then maintaining the system is much easier than trying to overhaul it all at once. Coming back to those small changes having more lasting impacts. And if you're making small changes towards maintenance of a system, it's great. It's like getting an oil change for your car. Your car runs better. It's guarantee. It's not maybe. It fucking runs better. So it's just, that's just how things go. We must maintain, and that's, like I said, again, it's just not a bad, not something to get bogged down by. That's, I think, what I was going for. So, for some things to think about, I don't know if
What you thinking?
What part of your life feels most chaotic right now? Right? Because really it's like, where are we just bleeding energy that doesn't, because that's a really important piece to understand. Typically, that's where you want to start. I don't know about you, but if I'm on a boat and there's 3 holes and one is just hemorrhaging water and the other is just like, bleep, 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 I'm going after the one that's hemorrhaging water first. I understand that sounds contradictory, but in an emergency, the fire going on in front of you is much more important than the piece of crumpled up paper next to you. It's just, I get it, but there are going to be situation, context dependent, all that good stuff. But identifying that is helpful in where to begin that process and where to begin putting that system into place. What has the largest impact on your daily experience that isn't always visible? So I know that person X gets in my way all the time. That is a visible impediment. But the invisible factor that is getting in my way is my reaction to it and how I view it. And it is having an impact on my daily experiences. It's a good place to start too. Right? Or another possible place to start, because that once the fires are all put out, then once you put out the fire, then that your focus can turn inward to start seeing what it is that we can do in order to work within those external constraints. Then, which small design change or small change will create relief? So what is a structural element that you can implement in your life that will create relief for you and sustain it over time? This can be altering an environment. This can be designing a boundary somewhere, a personal boundary. Any of those things will work for that. It is very, it's not a one size fits all. It just is a boom. There it is. And so the things that really we need to understand and remember is there's nothing broken about us as human beings. We are embedded inside of systems, inside of environments that we have to learn how to navigate. So we have agency, the choice to do what we need to do within those constraints. The systems that you put in place end up shaping your very existence and the life that you lead. And each and every one of us has the power to design those systems to work within the systems. It's not about becoming anybody else. I'm not asking for you to upend your whole personality. It just needs to, you just need to design your life in a way that works for who you are.
Absolutely.
It's not just about effort. It is building and is implementing conditions that make that effort sustainable over time.
And also feasible.
Perfect. Thanks for listening, everybody. Carlos and I greatly appreciate it. Comment something that resonated with you today. We are here for support, feedback, or anything else that you want to share. Join us on the Kindred app, a perfect space to keep unpacking what came up during the episode. Get live, peer-to-peer support from people with shared experiences. Kindred is built for those moments that no one else sees.
Take this one step deeper by reviewing today's reflection prompt in the show notes. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and tune in next week for a new episode. Until next time, choose joy.